Sorry guys, I have a lot to say about this game and I had to break this review into two parts because my account will not allow me to upload a video that is very long. So trying to get both of these pieces done at the same time, and I'm trying to still get into some things that I haven't touched yet. But picking up where I left off with the sound. Um, One thing that I do not really know why, the Covenant, the sound from the Covenant is completely different. I mean, they don't even speak English anymore, which makes sense. Aliens do not speak English, but in the previous Halo games, they picked up on it, and they can speak English. The brutes, the elites, communicated. You could communicate with the elites because you were working with them. You could hear what the brutes were saying when you were fighting against them. But now, the grunts just make weird, squealy, annoying sounds, and I don't really know why. Um, the elites don't make much noise at all, barely anything, and it's kind of weird. And the look, like I said, the graphics have been redone as well. The sound completely redone, the graphics, the looks of things completely redone. All the weapons look different, all the characters, the elites especially look a lot more reptilian than they did before, and the grunts look completely different than they ever did. Um, to be honest with you, I haven't paid too much attention to the jackals because the jackals seem very similar, but I'm positive there's some slight differences when the appearance is there. The weapons, pretty much all look redone and or have noticeable differences. The assault rifle essentially looks the same with a few subtle differences, but pretty much everything else has been redone. Some of them, just like the rocket launcher, some subtle differences, but fairly similar to what you're used to seeing in the other games. Um, Another thing that I was not too happy with as far as the weapon goes. The weapon, there's no more dual wield option. First of all, they took away most of the guns that you would be able to do that with. There is no longer an SMG in the game. And if there is, I have not seen it. I highly doubt there is. The SMG is gone. They replaced the plasma rifle with the storm rifle because a lot of weapons that they added to Reach have been brought into this Halo 4 game. But because there's no more plasma rifle, there's no dual wielding, and there's no need to dual wield the storm rifle because that is essentially more of a rifle than the plasma rifle was. It's shaped more like the carbine is. But dual wielding is not there anymore at all. Completely gone. However, I will say, for example, like the Magnum is back. You know, the pistol, the human pistol, is they brought back the ability to zoom in with the pistol, which I do like, and I guess that kind of replaces the dual wield ability and kind of makes up for it. Um, but at the same time, I kind of miss it sometimes. It could be useful in many situations, and especially considering um, you're fighting a whole new type of enemy here with the Prometheans, which I have to tell you now, it's not like fighting any Covenant or Flood that you've fought before. They are much more put together and organized as a unit than like the Covenant, or just kind of scattered. You know, they work together well, but once you kill like their squad leaders, whether it had been brutes or elites, everything else just kind of becomes irrelevant. The grunts just run away from you, and if you can get rid of a jackal shield, they're pretty much done. And then the only other thing that causes you a problem are hunters and maybe drones, but guess what? There are no drones in this game. Drones are gone and the brutes are gone. Where they went, nobody knows. They're gone and not even mentioned. However, the gravity hammer comes up one time in this game. Why it does, I don't know, but it makes an appearance. So there is a gravity hammer, and I believe it comes up in the very last mission, but it's there are no brutes, so there's no more brute weapons or vehicles. So there's a whole section that's kind of gone, but you know, whatever, I guess. You know, um, another thing, there's a lot, and I'm a big Call of Duty fan, but there are a lot of Call of Duty aspects that have been added to Halo, and I don't really like that because Halo is supposed to be Halo. It's a whole different game, and I don't know if they either did it because they wanted to have some similarities to the new game that's kind of become the top shooter game, or maybe they had some it's possible they could have had some people that had worked on Call of Duties working on Halo 4. I don't know that for sure, but it's a possibility because there's a lot more button interactive like sequences in the campaign, like crawling, like having to climb up an elevator shaft with shit falling down from you, so you have to jump from one side to another and climb up the elevator shaft. So, and you're constantly pressing like up on the stick or over on the directional stick. I think it's the left stick, which is something you would really see in more of a Call of Duty campaign. Plus the way it ends, I'll try not to spoil it too much, but it's a very Call of Duty like ending, which for the Call of Duty campaigns is very unique, and I thought it was very movie like with the way that Call of Duty usually ends their campaigns. But for Halo to do it, it's kind of weird. It's essentially the same thing. You have to pull yourself up from a bridge pushing these buttons. You pick up a grenade, which doesn't stick to people, but it has spikes. And you shove this spike into you like into this new enemy. The ball, I forget his fucking name, but the new main boss. You stab him in the chest with this grenade, and eventually falls off the bridge. But it's all like a cut sequence, and after you push these buttons, so you're not really involved in it. It's more of a Call of Duty thing, and they've also added loadouts to the online mode, which is very, and also a level-based unlock system. The loadouts have been a thing because in the firefight modes previously they had loadouts. I like that because in firefight it's about survival and points. So you should be able to pick which weapons you want to use to try to survive against waves of enemies. But on the online mode, it's always kind of been everyone starts with the same weapons, everyone has an equal opportunity to grab the weapons that are scattered on the map, and do whatever you can to survive and win in a team deathmatch or whatever you're playing. But now there's loadouts, and of course they brought back the armor abilities and added a few new ones like the Hard Light Shield and the Promethean Vision, which are added on because of your new Promethean enemies. So you have custom loadouts now. Now it's not like you can pick from like the best weapons. You know, you're not going to have the rocket launcher as your primary weapon. It's going to be mainly assault rifle type weapons. So assault rifle, the battle rifle, the storm rifle, the suppressor, and the hard light rifle, which are Promethean weapons, are all going to be like your main primary weapon options are going to be basic still, but it is going to add a new element to that. It is kind of cool for the co-op missions, which you can do, which is a new part of the online. You have the co-op missions, which by now every episode is unlocked. I remember I watched a couple other reviews for Halo 4, and they were supposed to release those co-op missions, like a new one each week when it was released, but it's been out for some time now, so they've all been released, and they were all free, which, if you're like me, you love free stuff from the game communities, you know, free maps, any free opportunity. I don't like to pay a whole bunch of extra money for downloadable content. Fuck that. I paid $60 for the game already. I'm not going to give you $10-20 more just for a map pack or some character bonuses. I don't care. I'll play the same maps as long as you give me, you know, a variety of maps. I'll be fine. But also the level-based system. And if you play, I suggest you play these co-op missions if you want to just level up and unlock your armor and your weapons and your, you know, your little armor logos, which are unlocked pretty quickly. But if you want to unlock that stuff, play these co-op missions. Either play them with your friends or play them on your own, because you can do it either way. But honestly, you'll level up so much faster, because I haven't played the online multiplayer yet, but I know from previous experiences, you know, you play on a new map, you've never played before, you don't know what you're doing. Everyone else has their loadouts now, so, you know, they have the weapons they want. You have jack shit. You're working with stuff you don't really want, but, you know, and you're playing against people that have exactly what they want. So you might end up going like 2-10 and getting hardly any experience at all. You play these co-op missions, you can die as many times as you want. As long as you kill a bunch of these, as long as you end up killing a bunch of shit, blowing a bunch of shit up, you'll get plenty of points, plenty of experience, and you'll level up a lot faster. You'll unlock your armor and your weapons a lot quicker doing it that way. That's all I've really done so far, and I've already leveled up several times and unlocked a whole bunch of pieces of armor. I've unlocked several loadouts. I've unlocked several buyable weapons and armor abilities. That's probably going to be your best option for that. But like I said, I don't know if I like that, because that's more Call of Duty like. I understand unlocking armor pieces. That's always been. You've always had to unlock the armor. But weapon classes and loadouts and armor abilities kind of are basically like your perks now. So you have your perks. Um, but they took a lot of Call of Duty aspects into this. I haven't looked into the Forge mode yet, but I briefly did. You have all the same menu and menu options, plus all the new weapons and new equipment will be there. But all the previous stuff that's been in there, except for like the things they got rid of, like the brutes are gone, so brute weapons and equipment are no longer there. But all the stuff you're used to seeing is there. I'm not the kind of guy that has countless time to make these amazing Forge maps. If I'm going in Forge, I'm just fucking around with some stuff. I'm just doing little random things. I'm not building whole new map areas and creating amazing structures. I don't have time for that. For those of you who do, that's amazing, and it's usually pretty kick-ass to see. But I don't know. I think I've complained about most of what I could. I don't really have the time with my videos to say all I want to say. If you have any questions, if you're skeptical about buying Halo 4 because it's not Bungie or whatever, just comment, let me know. I'll give you my honest opinion. So far, it's a good game. It's not a great game. It's not Halo as I want it to be so far. It's definitely set up for there to be another Halo. So there's going to be a Halo 5 sometime in the future. I've heard they're trying to do another trilogy, so there could be at least 2 more taking you to a Halo 6. And of course, no matter how bad things go, I'll probably end up buying them anyway, just because I'm a Halo fan. I want to say I own all the games, and I want to say that I played them all and finished the story completely. So, where it'll go, the ending of the game, the way it ends, is kind of cool, but not the end, but the cutscene at the end. Oh, quick note: cutscenes are done very well. Cutscenes are done. The humans look very well done, very realistic, very lifelike and human-like emotions on their face. Awesome voice acting. But I think that's the last bit I'm going to be able to add in this video before YouTube becomes a bitch and doesn't allow me to upload a long video. So, have any questions, ask. Halo 4, that's what I think about it. Solid game, not great. Whatever.